Imagine a world where 20% of the entire oil supply vanishes from the market overnight. The gas you pumped this morning, the groceries you're buying this week, and the mortgage you're locked into are being repriced right now by a war that few people are watching. While headlines focus on the regional politics of the Middle East, the raw numbers inside the supply chain suggest the economic fallout is moving faster than the markets can price it. This map shows the Strait of Hormuz, between Iran and Oman. At just 21 miles wide, it handles 17 to 18 million barrels of oil daily. On February 28th, conflict effectively closed that artery, dropping traffic to 10% of normal capacity. Global energy markets reacted instantly. Brent crude spiked from $70 a barrel in early February to nearly $128 by April 2nd, a doubling in 6 weeks. Prediction markets currently price a 77% probability this disruption lasts past April. This squeeze caught global markets without a backup plan, exposing the thin margins of an energy foundation that most of the world assumed was permanent. It is a mistake to view this as a simple spike in gas prices. In a modern economy, oil is the base layer for almost every physical good. This chart shows the mechanical contagion. Energy costs spike, immediately hitting transport, increasing the cost of moving every cargo ship and delivery truck. From there, costs infect manufacturing and agricultural fertilizer. By step 5, the consumer, retail prices explode because all production costs are forced higher. This domino effect threatens to reverse years of disinflation. Projections show UK inflation breaching 5% in 2026 as these costs reach the shelf. The 1973 Arab Oil Embargo cut global supply by about 7%, triggering a decade of recession and double-digit inflation. The 2026 Hormuz conflict has resulted in a 9% cut sustained over months. The U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve was intended to be the buffer for this exact scenario, but it entered the 2026 conflict at historically low levels, leaving it unable to absorb a 9 million barrel per day hit to the market. For 5 years, the financial sector assumed electric vehicles would destroy oil demand by 2030. Investment in new oil exploration collapsed. Now that EV adoption has slowed, while fuel demand remains high, there is no new supply ready to fill the gap. The Strait of Hormuz is also a choke point for 45% of the world's sulfur production. Because sulfur is a primary component of agricultural fertilizer, this energy shock is also a fertilizer shock. Agricultural disruptions operate on a 6 to 12-month lag. While fuel prices hit the wallet today, the full impact on food prices from this fertilizer shortage hasn't even reached the consumer yet. The global economy still carries the scars of the 2022 inflation cycle. Financial markets are now hypersensitive to energy volatility, pricing in the worst-case outcomes the moment a ship stops moving. That panic shows up directly in the housing market. As bond yields jumped to their highest levels since 2025, 30-year mortgage rates climbed to 6.38%. This column shows the IMF's severe scenario. If the disruption continues into 2027, global growth is projected to fall to 2%, a synchronized global recession, while inflation stays above 6%. Every individual currently taking out a business loan or buying a home is paying a direct, steep premium for the instability in the Persian Gulf. There is little evidence prices will return to old levels. EIA projections suggest oil will average $23 more per barrel permanently. Shipping routes are altered, supply contracts rewritten, and insurance premiums locked elevated. The mechanics of global trade have shifted. Just as the 1970s oil shocks changed how central banks operate and how nations view energy, this event has set a new baseline for the global economy. The question is, how prepared are you?